Hi everyone, before we start, I've seen about 75 movies this year, but I haven't seen everything. So on the screen, you're gonna see a list of movies that I missed or haven't gone into wide release yet, so I haven't been able to see. So if these movies you think might stand out in some of these categories, make sure you let me know in the comments. Welcome to IAYTD, and today we're talking about the worst movies of 2016. These are movies that I regret seeing, movies that make me question why I do this to myself. So these are the worst. I've got 3 runner-ups, and then I've got one that is by far the worst movie of the year for me. So the first runner-up is Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad I had really high hopes for. I thought this was going to be the DC movie that got it right. Batman v Superman is kind of mediocre to me. I was like, it missed as much as it hit. Suicide Squad, I was like, this could be it. The movie was just poorly edited. Half the characters were shoehorned in and then murdered. And it was just bad effects. When you look at that final sequence, it just looks like this bad CG. Cara Delevingne or whatever is bad. Just not a great start. Seeing that villain in the final sequence reminds me of another horrible movie I saw this year, which is Gods of Egypt. They look very similar, and both of them have horrible visual effects. Gods of Egypt looks bad. The story makes no sense. It's just like, what is happening? Did not enjoy it at all, and it's boring. You look at the clips and you're like, oh my god, there's giant snakes and they're fighting in the stars and and it just is boring and bad. Next up, for another bad movie, is Independence Day Resurgence, which no one wanted to be made. Just made no sense. It planted all these seeds for future movies without really taking care of itself. It didn't make for a good movie because they were so worried about world building, but that hurt itself in the end. But the movie that for me was just the worst, and I think this might just be me because I haven't seen this on any other worst of lists, and so I think I might be crazy, is Sausage Party. Now, Sausage Party is just gross. I knew it was going to be gross when I went in, but I didn't know it was going to be this gross. And if you've seen Sausage Party and you liked it, that means that you have a sense of humor that veers towards that you were laughing, you like that. I did not like that. And I'm not a prude, right? I usually love Seth Rogen stuff, Kristen Wiig, like their style of humor is usually right up my alley. I don't mind R-rated comedies, I love them, but this just felt like offensive to my being. I did not enjoy it at all. Half the audience was like falling out of their seats laughing, the other half left to go get a refund. So Sausage Party for me was just the biggest movie I walked out of that going, that was the stupidest, grossest thing I've ever seen. And it wasn't even creative. It's basically just like, what if we take people and replace them with foods, but all the jokes aren't clever. It's very superficial. It was not good. So if you liked it, that's right up your alley, that's fine. But for me, it was the worst. So what was the worst movie that you saw this year? Let me know in the comments what that movie was, what those movies were. If you had multiples that you were like, I hated that movie. Tell me in the comments, let's talk about it. And we'll see you on the next video.